Hi, my name is Ryan Burke. I am pursuing my master's in secondary education at Grand Canyon University. This fall I'll be teaching media production. It is my 5th year in education, and it will be my first year teaching media production for juniors and seniors, which I'm very excited for. For me as a teacher, where I progress in this profession is I take accountability and to incorporate technology and collaboration in the classroom. In media production, one way I want to incorporate this is actually the students making a short film. And they're going to do a rotation of the jobs that they would do on an actual short film, such as director photography, gaffer, boom operator, audio mixer, sound recorder, key grip, and lighting, and all those other jobs. I want them to be able to get what it's like to do those jobs first, hands-on in the classroom in an environment, so that when they actually graduate and move on to work on a film set or any type of film media production, they already have the training and work ethic, they know how to do it. They already have the collaboration skills as well. Another one that I know I excel at is definitely professional relationships. I always advocate to my students that they can email me during when they're my students and after. They can always reach to me after when I'm no longer their teacher, as opposed to families that they can contact me anytime. I want to be able them to see me as a resource so that I can refer to them to the industry professionals that I know and work with in the media world, so that they can progress themselves into their own jobs. I want to make sure that they know that I'm always there to support them in any efforts that they have. I improve my practice as well by getting teacher feedback. I like it anytime a teacher comes into my classroom. That always excites me, because if there's teachers that I get inspired by, I like to make sure that they can educate me so I can learn from them. The dispositions that I possess are definitely high expectations. I don't like my students not knowing that if they don't come into class giving me their best, then that's not something I don't like to accept. I like to push my students to the best that they can, and when I push them, they're pushing me to be my best as well. I don't like half measures. It doesn't help me, it doesn't help them. I don't like to give myself half measures. I don't want to come from my students. I want us all together to be there pushing each other to our best in the classroom. Another one that comes with that is honesty. Anytime I mess up or make a mistake, I like to apologize. I like my students to know that I'm human, that if I mess up, they're knowing that it's coming from somebody who actually cares, somebody who wants to put in the effort. I don't want them just to see Mr. Burke. I want them to see Mr. Burke as a human. Okay? There's a barrier. With that honesty, it creates more meaningful relationships, and I always don't want to lie with them. I just want to be frank with them, because those relationships are what's important in the classroom. A disposition I need to work on this year is definitely reflection. I don't think I gave myself enough time to reflect on lessons and what went well that day. We're in a go business. Gotta grade the next paper, gotta go to the next test, gotta help this student, gotta set up for my class, I gotta turn in these reports, I gotta submit my grades. We're constantly moving, and I know with this fall, especially with this new curriculum, I just want to give myself a moment to breathe so I can focus on what went well. What can I do that's better for not maybe next week, maybe next year? Just make a quick little note, or go, maybe that was good, maybe that didn't work. I know reflection could serve me very well, and this is one thing I want to improve and work on. Biases definitely have an impact in the classroom, such as disproportionate discipline. This is something I've fallen victim to, where I didn't discipline a student the same way that I did another. And I'm human, that's where I come honesty into play, and I apologize if it happens, especially if a student calls me out on it. I love it anytime they do, because then it lets me know, alright, they're holding me accountable, so now I gotta hold myself accountable. Alright, I gotta double back, I gotta think what I did wrong, gotta give myself time to reflect and move forward. Okay? Another one that falls into that is lowering expectations. I never want to fall victim to that. We're human, and it's part of the human condition, where every day we struggle and we only try to improve ourselves, because through struggling we emerge. So I never want to fall victim to any of that stuff, but those are how biases can definitely play an impact into the classroom. They're definitely stuff I'm aware of, and I want to make sure I give myself time not to fall victim to. For me as a teacher, I uphold my personal dispositions such as high expectations and honesty, and for definitely in media production this fall, because I'm working juniors and seniors, I know my curriculum is going to be pushing them to the best and also me to the best, and I'm excited about that. I want my students to be able to go work at a news station, summer camps, internships, anywhere, go to college and be prepared. I want them to go into Rock Valley College and go into their mass comms department and be going up to Mr. Labai and going, Jerry, I know everything. All right? I learned a lot from Mr. Burke, and I want you to teach me more. I want that to happen. I want my students to be able, when they go to college, especially Rock Valley College, that's an easy transition for them. They're gonna know the most out of any student in the class. That's what I want my students to know. I want them to feel confident, because confidence is key. Fake it till you make it. I also want to focus on my relationships with my students and the fairness that I can provide for them. Teaching the lesson at the end of the day will always happen, but that can't happen unless I have a relationship with my students. The lesson's always going to happen. They're always going to learn. Okay, they're students. They know what learning happens. But you can't get anywhere as a teacher unless you build that relationship. And I believe that 100%. I've seen it with some of the not worst students. I've seen it with some of those students that gave me the most trouble in class, or, the ones I go, ooh, this is interesting. How can I work with you? They give me the most pushback. And until I started to build those relationships with them, is then when I started to be able to get further with them in education and their content. It's when I could start helping them. Those are the things I'm going to focus on this fall. And it's one of those things, it's just, once there's a relationship, it's effortless and it's great. Overall, I'm excited to teach this fall and continue my journey in education. I'm pursuing my master's, and I know that this program is already pushing me a lot in the way I think of myself as a teacher and how I'm going to help my students as well. I want definitely to push myself this fall. Right now, this has let me gain a lot of insight into myself and allowed me to reflect on where I can grow. I thank you for the time for watching this, and you have a great day.